This is a quick rundown of the Atlas Defense PEN-15 Pugio pin gun. The disclaimer: do not dry fire, do not carry loaded, and this is the only area for loading. So there's a counter slot behind the other slot that keeps it locked in. This is the registered receiver for the AOW. This is the bolt with air passage channel, center fire, and rim fire firing pins. If you notice, you should be able to see in there the counter slot or the screw in gauges for the loading lock. The loading lock is there to keep the firing pin from protruding and catching the primer on rim fires as it protrudes there. When it's in the loading lot, when it's in the loading notch, it doesn't allow it to protrude. So free movement for firing. The loading notch has a limited restricted notch that does not allow the pin to protrude. All right, that's the basic assembly of the receiver. Let's look at some of the modularity parts. The buttstock, this is a polished with carbon fiber sleeve. Mainspring. And one of the mini barrels. This is a rimfire barrel polished with an optional carbon fiber thread protector. Bead blast system. Again, we'll put it to the loading notch. And we're going to go ahead and fire this one. Every time you use this pin, always hold the barrel and thread behind with any action. To put the suppressor on it, remove the thread protector. Install your Atlas Copus suppressor or other 22 compatible suppressor or whatever caliber barrel change you have on it. Insert your rimfire round. Again, by holding the barrel and threading the receiver. Again, making sure it's on the loading notch, never to carry it loaded, and never dry fire it. I'll show you what happens if you dry fire it on the other barrel. All right, we'll unscrew it and pull it out of the load notch. Now you can see the screw fully goes forward. Came out of the case, so it is unloaded. The reason we never dry fire it because the pin engagement, this is one that is one of my demos that somebody dry fired and it nicked the chamber. This is repairable, but we just want to avoid that happening. So always keep it on the load notch and never dry fire it. That allows it to not have firing pin protrusion. If it's not in the loading gate, you will have firing pin protrusion and it will scrape and could set off the round as you load it. Round is inserted. Always thread the receiver on, making sure that the thumb screw is on the loading arrow. You do have a little wiggle room as long as it's in that arrow, in the arrow or the load area and locked and not forward. That's where you want it. Thread the receiver on. Again, making sure that you're never carrying it loaded and it is always threaded from behind. Unscrew the thumb screw until it eases forward. And this is ready to fire. It's going hot. Again, to unload, put it in the loading notch. Unthread. Remove suppressor. Barrel protector. And then if the round gets a little sticky after shooting, you may need a little bit of encouragement with a knife. That's the rundown of the Atlas PEN-15 Pugio AOW.